Layla says we're ready to roll, so I'd like to call to order and welcome everybody to the January 17th of 2023 Commission meeting of the Limestone County Commission. Ellen, do we have a public comment?
Yes, we do. Mr. Sam Novosel.
If you don't mind, Sam, step right up here to the microphone, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
How you doing, sir?
Well, how you all doing?
Doing great.
My name's Sam Novosel. I live on 17105 Ennis Road. I don't know if you guys are aware of this flooding that's going on down there as county commissioners.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So basically what happened is Hammond Homes bought the 6.5 acres, took the woods off it, dug out the stumps, and then realized it's a foot below the water table. The man this spring then fills it in with dirt. After we told him that's the only drainage for the whole area. From Macaulay Mill, the neighborhood, my property, and my grandmother's property. The issue I have with this is that he filled it in to try to sell it to some sucker. You know what I mean? He realized he's going to lose money on the deal, and instead of doing the right thing and fixing the land and then selling it, he filled it in as quickly as possible and tried to get rid of it. Well, now it's flooded. Despite my neighbor's yards being flooded, access to my property, my private property, has been cut off. The neighbor across the street, he can't sell his home when the water's up to his door. A couple issues here. One, how come the county can't do anything about this? This is a developer. This guy isn't building for his private property. This guy is trying to make a buck off the property. That's our homes. And nobody, and I think we've all called the county for 6 months, 8 months now, trying to say, hey, this is going on, this needs to be fixed. And it's as simple as digging a trench. I don't know why y'all can't put a lien on property until he fixes it. I'm not against a man making a buck off a piece of property, trust me. But the way he's gone about it may not be unlawful, but it's highly unethical. You know what I mean? He destroyed 8 people's property so he could try to unload it on some unexpected. God forbid your family members come back into town and want to buy that property, put a house on, right? To realize that it's swamp and they're going to have to put an extra $200,000 in it to build a home. How I've been affected is, one, that water runs down the south 20 acres of my farm. In the springtime, I need that water for hay. I need the ground to be wet. My road's been washed out twice. It's actually your guys' road. My family's been maintaining it since 1985. Washed the gravel out, and then when the freeze came, you know, our cars are getting damaged. My daughter, when the school bus was coming down the road, had to walk through knee-high water to get to her own home. And as much as I blame Hammond Homes, your guys' number one job is to protect private property rights. I don't know if that's through regulation or what, but this is unacceptable. I mean, the guy across the street can't sell his house. It's bad enough the neighbors north of us, they already have septic issues because the developer built on the swamp that was essentially part of that one, right? And their septic tanks are too low because the water table's only a foot deep. I'm just a dumb farmer, and I know this. I thank you for your guys' time, anything else. Yeah, it really bothers me. This guy's a developer, and he's ruining 8 people's, 10 people's lives. Homes, not property, homes.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to him about what that would do, and what did he tell you?
I've told him. I'm pretty sure half my neighbors have called him up. We've talked to him. He pretty much said it ain't my problem. Well, now the water is everywhere, so now it is his problem. And unless you guys don't force him to do it, this is ridiculous. I mean, where in the country can you go where water rights water flow is not regulated for this specific reason? Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else, Ellen?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you.
One last thing. I wasn't getting services, too. Over Christmas, I wasn't getting mail, and God forbid a fire be at my place because they couldn't get across the road. So now he's cutting off access to services.
Thank you, sir. All righty. All right, Ellen, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Sammet.
Here.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Here.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Here.
Commissioner Townsend.
Here. No.
Thank you. Let's see, Sheriff, you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please, sir? Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming. First on the agenda for today, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from January the 3rd of 2023. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet, and have a second. Second by Commissioner Barksdale. Any discussion with the minutes? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimously. Second on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $1,039,015.71. Do I have such a motion?
I make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any conflicts of interest or anything coming from the commission body today? Everybody's silent. I'll take it as a no. Public hearing, we have none. Resolutions and orders. First one on here will be to approve a resolution authorizing the chairman to request allocations from local assistance from a tribal consistency fund. My dyslexia is kicking in right then. It got all jumbled up on the fund. So to have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet, second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. My brain was working, but my mind wasn't. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works together, but there we go. Contracts, agreements, and grants and MOUs, we have none. Budget revisions, we have two, and as in the work session, we discussed them both. So I'll ask for a motion to approve both budget revisions, one for the sheriff's office, one for the extension office. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin, to have a second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Emergency purchases, we have none. Board appointments, we have none. I guess theoretically, we do have, we put that in the back though, didn't we? Yeah. Anyways, award of bids. We have 3 bidders award, so as at the work session, we had discussed all 3 of them, and with nobody, we'll take a motion to take up all 3 of these award of bids.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin, to have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion with any one of the bids? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. On the personnel, policies, and staffing actions, I'll ask for a motion. We'll take up 1 through 3 together as discussed in the work session, which will be to approve to transfer Sydney Townsend from transport deputy to school resource officer, and approve to hire Jonathan Moray as a corrections officer, pending a drug screening, and approve to hire Danjuma Stevenson as a corrections officer, effective, and all these are effective January the 17th of 23, and 2 of them are pending a drug screening. So to have a motion to take up all 3 of these personnel actions for the sheriff's office.
I make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale, to have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion with any one of the 3? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimously. 4th thing on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to promote Daxton Gilbert and Spencer Wimbrow from Equipment Operator 2 to Equipment Operator 3, and that's out in District 2. So I'll ask for a motion.
I make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale, to have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion with either one of them? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Merit increases, I'll ask for a motion to approve the merit increases listed below. Do I have such a motion?
I make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale, to have a second. Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
You're getting as tongue-tied as I am. Motion carries unanimously. All right, engineers report. Let you talk a while, Bart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got two subdivisions for your consideration today. Kennesaw Creek Phase 3, this is a major for final approval, creating 41 lots in District 2. And Lappington Acres, this is a minor for preliminary and final approval, creating 2 lots in District 4. And that's what I have for your consideration. And then I guess after that vote, I can go through the Rebuild Alabama bid.
All right, I'll ask for a motion to accept the 2 subdivisions as submitted by Mr. Massey.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion with either one of them? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, but as I mentioned in the work session, the Rebuild Alabama Act for the gas tax requires that we give a report of the funds that we expended for, or the previous year, in one of our January meetings. So, our report, we completed, 5 sections of roadway, Sandlin Road, McKee Road, Capshaw Road, Snake Road, and 7 Mile Post Road, for 12.27 miles at a cost of $1,370,136.75. And then we received in revenue, more than what I had originally estimated in revenue for our Rebuild Alabama funds, the gas tax fund, which was I had estimated about $1.2 million. We actually received $1,464,272.85. And then we also utilized our $400,000 in Federal Aid Exchange funds. So we do have a carryover going into this coming year to begin the program, because we came in a little under budget on our projects, and we also had more revenue than what was estimated in our prior year planning.
How much carryover, you know?
I can't remember the exact
Ballpark.
number. We've got about somewhere around 400,000 or so.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good to start in a positive.
It's always good to be. It's like your checking account. Your checking account and the Bible is a lot alike. You
So
pay
you-
more attention to if it's in red you do if it's in black. So there you
You
go.
anticipate another increase? in
I don't necessarily
Okay.
anticipate an
Don't have a
increase
feel
on it.
for it?
No, because last year was the final year that that they made it to the full 10 cents. I think this year then they'll evaluate based on cost of construction. It could go up a penny, it could go down a penny, but I mean, with all other inflation, cost of construction, we don't expect it to be lower, but the law does allow for that movement based on cost of construction index. So I think we just maintain it at the same pace that we've estimated, and let's see what happens.
We can always carry it over.
We can, either that, or we can amend and add another project or something if we see towards the end of the year. I mean, we've got options. We can amend the plan and add a project if we need to.
I'm sure that we can help come up with
I'm
a product.
sure that y'all can help come up with a project.
Need them now?
You want
But-
a long list or a little list?
Yeah. So, but that's the report for this year, and so I appreciate your patience.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Anybody got anything else for Mark before we move on? All right, appreciate it. Other business, we had to remove one item from inventory, which is to be a District 4, so I need a motion to remove this one item from John Deere tractor from District 4.
I'll second.
Well, let's go with Commissioner Townsend, since his tractor, we're moving from Commissioner Townsend, and Commissioner Barksdale's gonna second it, so. There we go. Any more discussion? Got any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Gatlin.
All right, and then the second one on here is to transfer the following item, a bituminous asphalt machine from District 4 to the engineering department. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin. Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Barksdale.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Third on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to sell the 23 Mack dump trucks through J.M. Woods Auction Company, and this will either be in the March 21st or the 24th of 23 sale or the June of 23 auction sale. So to have a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Sammet, second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion with this item? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin? Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Fourth on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve the purchase and financing of 10 24 model Kenworth T880Ss dump trucks and 2 24 model Kenworth T880 lowboy tractors. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet? Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin?
Motion carries unanimously. All right, number 5 on here will be to authorize, well, I'll ask for a motion to authorize the purchase of some real property on Highway 127 and authorize the chairman to execute all necessary documents for completion of the purchase of this property based on a offer price of $19,000 per acre, which will be from 19 to a little over 20 acres, no more than 22 acres at the most, and any other consideration, recommendations by the county attorney. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Barksdale. Did I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet? Commissioner Gatlin? Commissioner Townsend?
And motion carries unanimously. Next on here, I'll ask for a motion to approve to appoint Colin Daly to the Tennessee Valley Youth Services Board effective January the 17th of 23. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion? And I want to thank y'all for the opportunity to serve on this board. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend?
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin? Commissioner Sammet?
Aye.
Commissioner Barksdale?
Motion carries unanimously. We don't have any executive session days, so at this time, report of officers. Commissioner Sammet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hate the gentleman left that commented on it before we got started today. You know, he's kind of blaming us for the flooding. We don't, and I think Drew will explain it if you would, Drew. We don't have any control over what a person does on their own property. Now, if it concerns the roads, then yeah, we can do something. But as it is, we don't have any control of what a person does on their own property. I'm not familiar with it. I know it's Mr. Barksdale's district, and he has. But Drew, am I not right?
That's correct. That's an issue for a private action
Yes, sir.
in court.
Yes, sir. So, you know, I think it would fall back on him. He would have to file suit against that person for, is it plug-in?
Drainage laws.
Yeah, is it drainage law? Is that what it is?
There's a
I
body
would
of
think
law
so.
in Alabama that
correct?
deals with water and
Yeah, I mean-
the flow of water, and if it goes from one property to another.
Yeah, so we don't have anything that'd be,
Well, if it affects our roads, we do.
The
Yes,
roads
sir.
is the exception.
yeah, he's backing water up on them, so they have all the rights in the world to seek an attorney and file suit against them.
And we have a right to protect our roads.
Yes,
I
sir.
would think.
Yes, sir. I agree.
I went and I saw them filling the ditch up. I went out and asked the guy, I said, don't fill the ditch up. He told me he didn't care about the roads, he didn't care about the neighbors. It was his property, he was gonna do what he wanted to do. So he intentionally flooded the roads, in my view.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, that's, I just wanted to get that out, that we do not tell folks what to do with their property.
You are correct unless it
So, no.
affects our roads.
Yeah.
If it just affects his
Well,
property, it's a private action, that's correct.
Well, if that's the case, if it's flooding the road, do we have,
When it flooded the road, I've reached out to
You have.
him,
And
and prior to that, I've been in conversation with him about what was going on out there. But when it actually came into the road, then I informed him that we are essentially a plaintiff and involved in it, and so
Okay.
the property owner has done some surveying, retained an engineer to give him a plan of action. And so he's working through that process.
Okay.
I told him that I'd meet with his engineer to make sure that we could come up with something that is satisfactory of the county commission's role in it,
Okay.
or desires for mitigation.
Okay.
So that is where we are on that. So there is movement on it.
Okay, good deal. And other than that, I want to thank the Sheriff's Department, congratulate Jay. Y'all all do a great job. I know it's a hard job you do, and I just want to say thank you for what y'all do. I know it gets tough. But anyway, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Sammy. Commissioner Barksdale.
I don't have anything.
All right, thank you, sir. Commissioner Gallagher.
Yeah, we're still cleaning up storm damage from last Thursday in the southern part of the county. Didn't have a lot of, luckily didn't have much structural damage. Had quite a bit of, trees blowed down and so forth. For today, our guys are out and should finish that up today, so we'll get that wrapped up. But we're still doing removing storm debris from last Thursday. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Townsend.
Yeah, we're replacing some cross drains. I think some folks seen where I closed some roads. We got 2 of them successfully replaced. We're gonna work on the 3rd one if we can get the weather this week. And hopefully that road will be closed for maybe a day or 2 on Shoal Creek if we can get that replaced. And I'd also like to thank the Sheriff's Department and everything they do. I know they got a hard job, and I want to thank Jay Stinnett for his service. I've known Jay since high school, and I know what kind of work ethic he's got. He's got a good work ethic. I played football with him, so I know. So he's a good guy. So, but anyway, that's all I've got.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I got several things here I want to talk about today, and I want to, like I said, congratulate Jay and the Sheriff's Office. I know that, the Sheriff's Office is one of those things that, it's kind of dear to my heart. My dad worked there for several years, and I know that there's a bunch of great guys up there, and thank them for their service. Congratulations. And I want to thank Darrell. Last week, last commission meeting, had went to Washington to the Katie Britt swearing in and stuff. And anyways, he filled in for me, and I want to thank Darrell for doing that and filling in for me. He done a great job. Watched the meeting live. It's great to know got good hands. And thank you, Darrell. And I'm sure I'll have to call on you again someday. But I just want to publicly thank you for being the guy you are and helping out and always serving when you need it. So, and I want to thank all the other commissioners. They give me the opportunity to do things like this, to travel to represent our county, and it's a great thing to get out to tie in to try to make our county a better place. So thank y'all. Yesterday was Martin Luther King's Day, and I didn't get to go to the Martin Luther King program, but I want to, thank that program. I know the city had a good program going there. I read people may not believe this, but I read a lot of quotes, and I read a lot of, what the day of the week is, and this, that, and the other. And I read a quote from Martin Luther King yesterday, and it kind of fit with me being I went to Montgomery yesterday to the governor's inauguration. I was invited down to the governor's inauguration, and, of course, all of the other, a lot of the other people were sworn into office, and we had a local guy here, like Wayne Reynolds, that swore on the school board. We got a local guy that serves on the state board down there, so I want to congratulate him, and all of the others that were sworn in. But I was sitting around, and I'll pick up the phone and I'll Google things, and Martin Luther King always, he always has so many great quotes. And yesterday when I was thinking about what to say about the congratulation of everybody, I read a quote from him, and it kind of touched me, and I'm gonna read it out loud to y'all today if y'all don't mind. It says, "People fail to get along because they fear each other." It says, "They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they don't try. They have not communicated with each other." And as a county government, that's our job, is to communicate with the public. I know this gentleman here is a little upset, but I have actually been having communications with Mr. Hammonds about the project. I know Mark has, and we all trying the best to work through this program. I know he has agreed to do some work to the property, and I know him and I know Mark and Taz will get it out. That's his engineer, right, Taz? And I know they'll get it all worked out. And so with that being said, that's our job is income moderation, and I want to thank, I know these 4 guys here sit beside me. I couldn't do anything without these 4 guys. These 4 guys are great. They work well with us. And I know we've, always have our little differences, but at the end of the day, we all have a purpose. We're serving this county. And my necktie today, they always ask me why I wear my necktie. I got them a Three Stooges tie because I'm a victim of circumstance. That's a neck knock. My dad was a law enforcement. This is all the policemen there. And my dad says he wore his last necktie. He'll never wear another one. So Mom gave me all of them. And so I've got them a Three Stooges knock tie today. So that's what my tie is for today. And so there we go. And we will adjourn until 9 a.m. on Monday, February the 6th of 2023 at the Clinton Street, right here where we're at. Thank y'all for being here. There we go.